Have you ever had an argument with someone, a heated exchange where words were said, emotions ran high and the air was thick with tension, and then, the very next day, they act as if it never happened, not in a let's forgive and forget kind of way, where a mutual understanding has been reached and peace restored. No, I mean they look you dead in the eye with an almost unsettling calm and deny it ever took place. They insist, with unwavering conviction, that the conversation you clearly remember, the accusations you heard, the pain you felt, simply did not occur. It makes you question everything, doesn't it? Your own memory, the very fabric of your perception. You start to doubt the evidence of your own senses, wondering if you imagined it all, if your mind is playing tricks on you. It is like living with a ghost, a presence that constantly rewrites the past, subtly altering events, making you feel as though you are losing your grip on reality. The ground beneath your feet feels unstable, and the world around you begins to blur. My name is Alex. And for 20 years, I did not live with a ghost. I lived with a storm, a force of nature that swept through our home with unpredictable ferocity, leaving a trail of emotional wreckage in its wake. My wife Chloe, she has massive anger issues. I'm not talking about the occasional shouting match or the slamming of a door in a fit of pique. I'm talking about a full-blown hurricane, a tempest that consumes everything in its path. When the storm hits, it is not just a verbal onslaught. Things get broken, a picture frame, a coffee mug, sometimes things that hold sentimental value, objects that represent shared memories. But it is not just physical objects, more insidious still, things that matter, things that are crucial to daily life, vanish. Car keys disappear, only to mysteriously reappear hours later. A bill I need for work, gone, then found in an unexpected place. My passport, gone only to reappear a day later, as if by magic, leaving me to wonder if I had simply misplaced it, or if something more deliberate was at play. And in the eye of that hurricane, when the rage is at its peak, she says things, vicious things, words crafted with a cruel precision, designed to hit me where it hurts most, to exploit my deepest insecurities. But there is one threat, one line that has become the haunting soundtrack of our worst moments, a recurring motif in the symphony of our discord. She looks me in the eye, rage burning behind her tears, her voice laced with a chilling venom, and says, "You know what? I will just go sleep with one of your friends. I will go sleep with Ben." The first time she said it, it felt like a physical punch to the gut, a blow that left me breathless and reeling. Because Ben is not just a friend, he is one of my best friends, a man I have known for years, someone I trusted implicitly. But Ben, he is complicated. He is the life of the party, always joking, always loud, the center of attention wherever he goes. Yet everyone knows, or at least suspects, that he is a player. Even his wife, a kind woman, who often seems to carry a quiet sadness, suspects him of sleeping around. It is a quiet rumor, a persistent whisper that has never really died down, a shadow that follows him despite his outwardly jovial demeanor. So when Chloe uses his name, it is not random. It is not a thoughtless outburst. It is a precision strike aimed directly at my insecurity, at the vulnerability I had unknowingly exposed. And the cruelest part, the most agonizing twist of the knife, is that I once told her about Ben's reputation myself. I had tried to be open, to share my concerns about his character, trying to show her that kind of talk, that kind of behavior, hurts people. I had inadvertently handed her the weapon she would later wield against me. For years, I told myself it was just anger talking, an empty threat, a desperate attempt to wound me in the heat of the moment, with no real intention behind the words. But the storm never truly ends. It just goes quiet. It recedes, leaving behind a deceptive calm, a temporary reprieve before the next inevitable onslaught. Weeks of silence would follow. A home filled with ghosts, unspoken words hanging heavy in the air, unresolved conflicts festering beneath the surface. And then, as suddenly as it began, the calm would descend, sunny, smiling Chloe would reappear, as if nothing ever happened, as if the hurricane had been a figment of my imagination. Her demeanor would be so utterly normal, so perfectly composed, that I would begin to question my own memories once more. We have been married for 20 years, and not once, not a single time have we truly resolved a single fight. We just bury it. We push it down, deep into the recesses of our shared history, hoping it will somehow disappear. But it never does. It simply lies dormant, waiting for the next storm to awaken it, to bring it roaring back to the surface. And when I try to bring it up, when I attempt to revisit a past conflict, to seek some form of closure or understanding, she looks at me with this perfect mask of confusion, her eyes wide and innocent. "What are you talking about, Alex? I would never say that. You are too controlling. You are a narcissist." And suddenly, just like that, I am the problem. The narrative shifts, the blame is expertly deflected. Every argument, every attempt at reconciliation ends with the same script. She is the victim, I am the villain. And then comes the punishment, silence. Weeks of it, a chilling, isolating silence that serves as a constant reminder of my supposed transgressions. I have never cheated, not once in our 20 years together. But living like this, constantly battling against a shifting reality, it twists your mind. Even with the good times, the laughter we share, the beautiful children we both love, I cannot shake the insidious thought that maybe, just maybe, she has been unfaithful. The constant threats, the denials, the gaslighting, they erode trust, leaving behind a fertile ground for suspicion and doubt. Then came the incident, 10 years ago, and it is burned into my mind like a photograph I cannot tear up, a vivid, painful memory that refuses to fade. That day, she was supposed to pick up the kids from school. She called me, her voice casual, saying she was stuck at work, running 20 minutes late. I finished work much later than her, so she was always the one who handled the school run. And then she said the words that still haunt me, words that sent a shiver down my spine even then. "Do not worry, I will just ask Ben to pick up Lily. His wife is on a night shift anyway." A cold dread settled in my stomach. I knew Ben's wife worked nights, but the casualness with which she suggested it, combined with her past threats, sent alarm bells ringing. When I got home 2 hours later, the house was empty. My heart pounded in my chest as I called her, a knot of anxiety tightening in my gut. "Oh, hey," she said, her voice cheerful, almost too cheerful. "We are just at Ben's place. Lily is playing with his son. Ben's house is 5 minutes away." 5 minutes. She stayed there for 2 hours. Just her, our 6-year-old daughter, him, and his 5-year-old son, while his wife was conveniently at work. The scenario played out in my mind, a sickening loop of possibilities. When they finally got home, I did not yell. I did not accuse. I simply told her how uncomfortable it made me. How, given the threats she had made in the past, the cruel words she had hurled at me, and the incredibly strict rules she sets for me regarding my own interactions with female friends, it felt like a profound betrayal. The double standards were suffocating, a constant weight pressing down on me. A harmless text from an older family friend, a woman in her 60s, and Chloe would turn it into a full-blown love affair, a catastrophic breach of trust. Yet she saw no issue with spending 2 hours alone with Ben, the very man she had threatened to sleep with. And she just looked at me, blank, cold, her eyes devoid of any recognition or empathy. "Alex, I have no idea what you are talking about. I have never said I would sleep with Ben. You are being irrational." That argument lasted a month of shouting, of my tears, of her accusations that I was a controlling narcissist, that I was making things up. And then, one day, like always, she shut it down. "I never want to talk about this again." And that was it. Another wound buried alive, another piece of our shared history erased, another truth denied. But I could not move on, because the truth does not rot. It lingers. It whispers. It gnaws at the edges of your sanity, a constant reminder of what you know to be real, even when everyone around you, especially the person closest to you, denies it. A few weeks ago, her sister came to visit. I really wanted to point out our marriage issues to someone she respects, someone who might be able to see the pattern, to validate my experience. So I listed a number of incidents, times she had said something inappropriate or acted too playfully with my friends, and how she always denies them completely. I told her sister everything, the threats, the denials, the day at Ben's house, the 2 hours she spent there. She was horrified. Her face paled as I spoke, a dawning realization in her eyes. And she confronted Chloe. What happened next, what unfolded in that moment, ended everything. Chloe did not just deny the threats, she denied all of it. Every incident I had recounted, every word I had quoted, even the day she had asked Ben to pick up our daughter, the day she had spent 2 hours at his house. Tears streaming down her face, her voice trembling with what appeared to be genuine distress, she told her sister, "I have no idea what Alex is talking about. I never went to Ben's house. He is making things up because he is jealous."